I'm Sam.
I'm Cindy.
And we are the Dorvils. So, Christmas is like our Super Bowl. And this is Mama. Mama selected this. I'm just kind of rolling with it. Just being a good husband and kind of, going with it.
He was excited about it. Let's be serious.
So this is from a few seasons ago, right? So where were we when we got these? Like, what year was that?
We were still at 808.
Oh, was that 808? I vaguely don't even remember that.
Yeah, so probably like 8 or 9 years.
Wow. Yeah,
8 years.
They don't even make these anymore. Like these one pieces.
It's hard to find the one-piece ones.
Yeah,
especially matching.
Yeah. So what I do remember, this was definitely pre-kids. Taking a picture with Puppy.
Yeah.
So we had Puppy set up and probably some antlers or something like that. But I remember that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about Christmas traditions. All right. So what is our Christmas traditions growing up? What do they look like now? And how we've kind of added to kind of create our own, special little Christmas. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You want to start with how did you grow up?
Sure. So Christmas for me is very different. I mentioned before, I grew up in extreme poverty, and then also my parents were very religious, so they didn't want to fog the lens of Christmas by putting up Christmas trees and putting up decorations and stuff like that. So they were very strict and kind of to the point on what Christmas was about. So, I didn't come from much. So sometimes Christmas was often secondhand, or Santa wasn't even present, right? So sometimes I'd just go watch other kids play with their toys, outside. And then when I got to school, I'll just kind of make up and say that, I got some different things. So, yeah, so Christmas for me was different. It definitely has a different feel now. But I remember I mentioned in, one of our videos, one of the things that kind of had me in awe was when you described your Christmas and actually having the Christmas on film, which mm-hmm. blew my mind.
Yeah, so my experience was completely different. I would say to this day, I don't know if anything has ever made me as excited as I would get for Christmas when I was younger. My parents made it absolutely magical. And I was so excited I couldn't even sleep the night before Christmas, just thinking about Santa coming and all the gifts under the tree. We were also raised Catholic, so obviously we knew about Jesus and we had our nativity. But the whole aspect of Santa and watching the Christmas movies and hot cocoa, and I grew up in New England, so sometimes we'd get snow on Christmas, and all of those little things that you see in a Hallmark movie, I feel like at one point or another I experienced those.
Which felt good to me when she kind of described it to me. I was kind of like, I do want something different, for my future Christmas. I think one of the conversations we had very early on was, for me, I was like, baby, I wanted my the house to turn seasons. And we've been able to do that, and our Super Bowl is definitely Christmas. It is.
We only have 3 trees up this year.
3
Last year was 4.
Instead of 4. Yikes! Right? We kind of in a place that's not that big.
Yeah.
So
when we have a house, it'll be much more.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely gonna do it bigger than. So
I guess I'll start with my Christmas traditions that I recall from growing up. First, after Thanksgiving, the weekend after, we would go to a tree farm and we'd bring our saw, or they would have a saw there for us. And you go out into the tree forest, and you pick the best one.
Oh, geez.
We were usually in that 6-7 foot height frame. We liked it nice and big and round. And we'd cut it down and then put it on top of the car and drive home. My mom was very detail oriented when it came to doing the lights. We used the colored lights back then. And she would spend hours putting all the lights on the tree. And then we got to help with ornaments. Each year, as a tradition, my dad would buy us a new ornament. We got to go to the Hallmark store and pick out the one we wanted. So it was usually centered around either a cartoon character like Rudolph, Mickey Mouse, Disney, Winnie the Pooh. We'd try to stick within collections, or it would be something that I was into that year, baseball, basketball, things like that.
She has a lot. She has a lot. I'm going to just let you know right now, it's a lot.
Yeah, well, it's been 40 years now. So.
Yeah, but it's good. All of these ornaments kind of have a story, right? So this grade and that grade, and it's kind of attached to a good memory. So it's kind of been a very...
I have some homemade ones I made.
Very
kindergarten.
good and interesting, perspective, or, what your traditions were actually, growing up.
Yeah, so my mom, putting the lights up, would always put on the Roger Whittaker Christmas album. So to this day, that's the first album that I like to listen to at Christmas time. It just makes me feel nostalgic. And once we were done with the tree and decorating, we actually set it up in our living room, which we pretty much never used for the greater part of the year until it was time for Christmas. And the heat in there didn't work. So it was a perfect room for the tree. Our tree would actually grow. Even though it was chopped down, it would grow in there.
That's crazy.
So we'd set it up, and then we put a fire in the fireplace. I'd get a little sippy cup of ginger ale. We'd have popcorn. And we'd just sit there by the tree in the fire and listen to Christmas music. And that's how we started our Christmas season.
You see how that gave me hope? Just the way you described that gave me hope, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I listened to that. I was like, that sounds dope to me.
Yeah. And then my mom would love to drive around with us in the car listening to Christmas carols. And we just drive by and see the lights and the biggest displays. We would always go, ooh, ah.
That's funny.
We don't do that now with the kids. I mean, we listen to the Christmas music and we see the lights, but I haven't introduced them to oohs and ahs yet.
I don't know about that one.
Caden would be into it.
Yeah, Caden would definitely.
Caden has the enthusiasm.
Be into it. Yeah.
What else? We had so this is dating me a little bit, but my dad would record shows off the TV onto our VHS. And we had a whole VHS of Christmas cartoons, like Alvin, the Smurfs, the Grinch, Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph. And that was something that we would watch every year.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I was very into all those shows and still play them now for our kids.
Yep.
I'm into them more than the kids are, but they'll get into it eventually.
Hopefully.
They don't have a choice.
Kind of cool, yeah. Yeah.
Christmas Eve, our tradition was always to go to my babci's house. That's grandma in Polish. That's my dad's mom. So she would make a Polish feast for us with borscht and pierogies and glumpkies and a tray of cookies that we never ate. They all looked so dry and not appetizing. So we would say we were so full from her delicious dinner that we couldn't eat any cookies.
Yeah.
Which what child says that?
I know, right? That never happens.
But that was our Christmas Eve tradition. And then back then, everything was pretty much closed on Christmas Eve. So just the feeling of driving home, there's pretty much no one on the road. We had a main street that we traveled to get home. And we'd hit green lights the whole way because there's no one there. And we'd be listening on the radio to the Santa tracker.
Oh, yeah. What was that?
Literally someone broadcasting. They have eyes on Santa.
Oh,
and they tell you it was just spotted in this location. And based on where you're located, they're predicting what time he might arrive. So that would get us even more excited.
You hear that? So if I would have told my mom, saying that, she would have probably went. But that's just my version of it. But go ahead.
Santa was very hyped up for us.
Mm-hmm.
Then Christmas morning, the way our house was set up, we had a foyer with a dining room, the kitchen, the family room, and the living room.
Mm-hmm.
But the family room and living room had French doors, so they could be closed, and then there was a little lock at the top. So as a child, we couldn't reach the lock. So it would be locked, and then on the other side of the doors, they would hang a curtain, so we couldn't even peek in there. We couldn't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to wait until Mom and Dad woke up. The mom would make coffee. She would have raspberry Danish. Dad would slip in. He'd let us know that Santa came. He'd set up the video camera. And then once he was all ready, he was like, okay, you can come in.
Oh, cool.
And then my sister and I got to run in and see all the presents and the stockings full. And it was just a really magical morning.
That's what's up, man. I just love the energy that feels like, on Christmas.
Yeah, and it's great that my dad did have the video camera, and we do have almost every year on video. So it's cool to be able to watch that back and see it. And I haven't showed the kids yet, but I'm sure they'd be interested to see it at some point.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, I think they'll definitely get a kick out of it.
Yeah, and then because our house was larger, most of the family would come to our house for Christmas. And my mom's one of 7. So it was a lot of cousins growing up, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was exciting to be able to share our toys, and usually our cousins would bring a toy or two, and we'd all play, and it would be loud, but it would be fun.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah.
So those are my main traditions that I really enjoyed. If you want to see more of our videos, please hit like and subscribe.
Yeah, definitely. I considered that a very beautiful Christmas, something that I definitely wanted to be a part of early on. So we're going to jump into some Christmas traditions that we kind of created ourselves, for our family. So, all right.
Well, the first one I would say is definitely, I wanted to keep the tradition going that my dad started with the ornaments. So we haven't let them go shopping yet to pick out what they wanted, but I started last year their collection. I bought them an ornament based on what they liked. So last year, Kayla was into My Little Pony. Isaiah was into Sonic. He still is into Sonic. And Kate is into football.
He's into.
So we got Kate
Both
in a
of
little
them,
helmet.
everybody are addicts, whatever they're into.
Yeah, so the ornament goes in their stocking as part of the stocking stuffers. This year, I've got them something new, so they'll be surprised on Christmas morning.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have so many decorations, we try to get it set up when they're at school, just because it would be pretty hectic.
Mm-hmm.
But I do look forward to when they are a little bit older, being able to participate more and help with the decorating.
For sure.
I know they'll really enjoy that, especially Kayla. Kayla's always asking to get involved in everything.
She does a very good job of asking to participate, whether it's serving dinner, serving meals, cooking, cleaning up. That is, I want to say thankful for that book. What was the name of that book that we got?
Hunt, Gather, Parent.
Hunt, Gather, Parent. I'd recommend it to any parent. Get your kids more involved. Get them servant-like. It will benefit you later. I promise you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So decorating, I definitely want to get them more involved as they get older. But right now, our main traditions are driving around, looking at the lights, listening to the Christmas music, watching Christmas movies. This year, Caden is really into Home Alone and The Grinch.
He is. I wonder why.
So I've probably seen them a few times already this year.
Yeah.
One movie that we watched together is It's a Wonderful Life, which I tried to get him to watch this movie for years.
Yeah.
And he was like, that looks so boring.
Yeah, I pushed back hard for a long time, and then I finally caved in and I saw it.
Well, I think I finally got the what, like tinted, or the color added version? It wasn't just a black.
They added a slight little color in there. It makes a difference.
Yeah, it made it a little more appealing for you.
Yeah.
And then he realized what a good movie it is. So that's an annual tradition now. We got to watch It's a Wonderful Life, which we haven't done yet.
Yeah, so we watched It's a Wonderful Life. I didn't know what to expect. I got into it, and in the end, it made me cry. I almost like
it
never
makes me cry every time. Every time.
I almost never cry, and this movie kind of got me. So if you could do that, you have a powerful story for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
No man is a failure who has friends. Important lesson.
Yeah. So,
what else are we starting for the kids?
Well, one of my favorite things to do is play the Jackson 5 Christmas album. That's my natural go-to with the kids, and I guess maybe at some point when things are right, we'll probably add a Disney element to our kids as well.
Oh yeah, before kids, we used to go up to Disney every December. Because if you want to talk about a place that feels magical at Christmas time, and Disney does it right.
Yeah.
We would go to the Disney Springs, and they have sometimes carolers or a cappella groups. Yep. They have fake snow coming down. The whole place is just decorated beautifully. So we haven't done that journey yet with all the kids. We did take Caden when he was little, but that's something that we look forward to.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. We definitely want to incorporate that. So
yeah, if you've had a chance to see any of our pictures through social media, you know that we often coordinate.
Yes, for
or
sure.
match.
Yeah.
Our outfits as a family.
Yeah.
So matching family jammies is obviously one.
That's an automatic, right? And that's kind of growing in popularity too, right? Our other family matches jammies too.
Yeah, this is the first year we actually got the extended family to all get on board with the same pair of jammies.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about those pictures.
Yeah, and when are we taking the pictures?
I don't know.
Christmas brunch.
Oh, Christmas brunch. Yes. So we started Christmas brunch. It used to be on Christmas Day, but then
that was a lot of eating.
We were too full on Christmas Day, so then we started Christmas brunch New Year Christmas Eve. We do brunch and jammies, and then later we'll pop into church for a service, and then we'll come back for a family game night. Probably still in jammies as well. and then we'll break from there, and then we'll go home, and then we'll start our Christmas Day. So you want to tell them about Christmas Day?
Well, more about the game night. We plan to do some cookie decorating as part of that.
Okay.
And for the games, I think it changes every year, but we do some of the quintessential Christmas games, like the balls, ping pong balls in the Kleenex box on a Tushy. If you haven't seen that one, maybe Sam could add some footage in.
Maybe, hopefully.
Maybe add a clip.
I'll add a clip, yeah.
Some other tissue ones. Can you think of any other ones that we've done?
Nothing that could come to mind off the top of my head right now.
His sister's usually pretty good at planning some of those.
Yeah.
So it's fun. It definitely creates a lot of laughs and memories.
For sure.
And then Christmas Day, we obviously do the most decorating. You heard what his family grew up thinking about decorations and all of that. So when it came time to decide where Christmas would be, I felt like it had to be our house because I'm already in Florida, coming from New England. Yeah. Florida Christmas is way different than the feel you get in New England. So I was like, I need my decorations.
Yeah.
So we started hosting.
For sure. That was almost automatic.
Probably like 10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
At least 10 years ago.
So we host Christmas. I think we have the right Christmas vibe. Definitely the decorations. So it really brings a different feel to the whole Christmas Day dinner.
Yeah, it's a little crazier now with kids, but we've always done a family potluck, so it's not too much stress on any individual.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then the main menus is laid out, and then we just come hang out and kind of lounge out as a family and kind of enjoy each other, and then we get to the good part, which is which is
We do Secret Santa.
Secret Santa, our gift exchange, which gets pretty loud. It gets loud. It's
His family is extra.
Yeah, very extra. But
every
it's fun.
single gift is like,
wow. That's true. But it's still fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another tradition that we do is Christmas photos. We send out Christmas cards. And last year I decided, you do the cards, but then they usually get thrown out. So what would be a better way for us to remember our special shoots throughout the year? So last year I put together a few ornaments from the previous few years and added another one for this year. So maybe Sam could show you a couple of those on the tree as well.
Yeah. Here's a few ornaments. All right. This is 2020. That's our 2020 shoot. Look at Kaden. All right. This is 2021, which I thought was absolutely beautiful. Just a few other travel ones. New York, DC. What else? Oh, Hawaii.
Just wanted to show you a few of my nostalgic ornaments. All right, so I have my first Christmas ornament right there. I put Caden's first Christmas ornament above it. That's another of my, that's another from my first Christmas. I'm in the back corner here, so it's hard to see. Oh, that's me in second grade, 1990. And like I said, we've been collecting for 40 years. So that's another one from the year that I was born. Like I said, I have a lot of characters that I've collected. I tried to keep within the series for a lot of them. I loved when Hallmark had the Coca-Cola Santas out. They were some of my favorites. And then I would say one of my most favorites to put up every year, it's not even on the tree right now because I'm replacing the batteries, but it is a Charlie Brown Linus on the stage, and he's reading from the book of Luke about the angels appearing to the shepherds. So I love playing that. And then the kids' favorite ornament this year is this guy right here.
What you just said? I can't put any muggins.
So they love to go through that and play all of Elf's favorite sayings.
Lastly, our two additions for the kids this past year. My Little Pony, and of course, Sonic. And this is football. Football. That's Kaden.
But that's a new tradition, taking our Christmas photos to make the Christmas cards, but then also turning the Christmas card into a Christmas ornament.
Yeah, so we also have travel ornaments. So if we go somewhere special, we'll always pick up an ornament that kind of represent that trip. So that kind of puts a date stamp on that ornament and that event as well. So that kind of makes it a little bit more special.
The only problem is it happens all times of the year that
lately
we do these travels. Yeah. So we get the ornament and then get home and I put it somewhere safe. And we have a few missing ornaments at the moment.
We do. We can't find them nowhere too. It's the craziest thing. So,
but they're safe.
They're safe, I hope.
They'll show up one day.
They'll show up one day. Yes, one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't throw them away.
No.
Okay.
They're somewhere safe.
Yeah. So.
Is there anything that we haven't started yet that you may have seen someone else do that you think would be cool to incorporate?
No, obviously, I'm not gonna complain about anything. I love where we're at. I love, what our Christmas looks like and the energy that I feel like it brings to our kids. So I'm watching, the different things that we do, and then we also have the gifts and stuff like that. It's like I'm experiencing these Christmases for the first time, So I enjoy just kind of just watching. So now we have plenty, but I would say that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. And it is very important for us, even though we do Santa and we get into all of the traditional Christmas activities, we do emphasize that the reason for the season is Jesus, and that his birth was very important and changed, the course of humanity. Mm-hmm. So we make sure that the kids know the whole story, and we have several books that we read pretty much the whole month of December. When I do a bedtime story, it's a Christmas story of some sort.
Yeah. So the books change out from fall to Christmas books. So
Halloween to Christmas.
We don't play around. we don't play around here. So and the movie selection goes from whatever it is to mainly all Christmas related. So
sometimes they try to pick something different. Mm-hmm. No, sorry, got to pick a Christmas one.
I said that today, and
we watched Sonic all year.
I know, I let it slide, and that's exactly what happened. It was Sonic.
You chose Sonic.
Yeah, and I just kind of let it slide.
Yeah, I haven't let him have that in a few weeks.
Yeah, he got me. So, outside of that, do you think you have anything you want to add?
I think it'll just be interesting to see as the kids grow a little bit older and get more involved, like what they're really interested in and mm-hmm. what they're passionate about. I know one thing I'd like to do is take Kayla, who loves to sing, caroling, maybe at a convalescent home or something involved with the church.
Yeah.
I think that would be something fun to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Ice skating. I think they could use one of the things to hold on to, but they get frustrated easily if it doesn't come naturally. So probably maybe another year or two, we'll take them skating. I know Kayla asks right now to go.
Yeah.
And she fake skates around the house.
Until you get out there and then you figure out it's not that easy.
She'll get upset if she's wearing the non-slip socks. She's got to go change her socks so she could skate. So that'll be something fun to do. I grew up skating, obviously, in the north. That's a more popular activity. There was a rink nearby, so I learned at an early age. But that'll be fun to do.
Yeah. I think that would be fun to incorporate that. So, all right. Outside of that, thank you for watching. We wanted to put together a Christmas video for you. That is something that we highly value and we love. And then never forget, the reason for the season is Jesus Christ. Have a good day.